Good afternoon.
Hello, everyone. We got goofs.
You can't call me out like that just before we go live.
Hey, it's out of control. As soon as I press that introduction video, it's all go. I can't control that anymore.
We got a minute and a half to get out all the
What can we cram within the 10 seconds that we have?
Shrimp, apparently.
A shrimp.
Yep.
Shrimp. Hello, everyone.
Now.
Hello, and welcome back to the Road to Elturel, our Saturday D&D game here on Carpe Diem. I am your humble dungeon master.
Jank, sorry, need to interrupt.
One.
Gotta represent something for you.
Oh my God, you have that T-shirt.
Hell yeah.
You also have that T-shirt. I did not think you could buy those anymore. I was certain that T-Fury took those down because it looked too much like the Legend of Zelda shield. And they're like, copyright. You are not allowed to sell.
Are we gonna get taken down from this T-shirt now?
No, it's fine. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Road to Elturel. I am your humble dungeon master, Sir Jenks. These are lovely adventures. Let's hop right back into where we were. So last time on the Road to Elturel, our party was divided into two separate groups. Our first group, the classic duo of Seymour and Kaya, had made their way down to Triel. Kaya was trying to find a cure for Seymour, who had been cursed with a feeble mind spell by a fiendish warlock. Upon arriving in Triel, they were directed to the Wagon Wheel Tavern, where they met Citrone Harpel, who everyone calls City. She is the local healer in Triel, and she was able to cure Seymour. After his curing, Seymour ran away to go deal with some very emotional troubles that he was going through with regards to all the crap that he's been put through lately. And in trying to console him, Kai was able to scry using a deck of magic tarot cards that she has on Seymour's family, which immediately turned from a beautiful moment to a terrible one as the curse of Seymour's contract set in and his mother started falling ill again. As part of all of this, City overheard and she asked Seymour and Kaya for help with her own problem. Her wife, Sybil Verlaine, was the warlock that they met on the road, and City needs their help to help her. The other group, our super group of Snipe and Hattie and Reyna and Hera, you were all up in Subar, the walled city and home of the austere Black Abbey, and its very overbearing patricians who like to talk everyone's ears off. you all were trying to find a way to hasten your way south to catch up with the others in Triel. You kind of debate a few things, going back down to the tunnels, just taking off on horseback. And in this conversation, in the tavern, while you were trying to weigh your options, someone threw out teleporting as an option, and Artius Manx, the sorcerer that you're traveling with, suddenly remembered that he had Teleportation Circle, which is totally an option. So you guys went up to the Black Abbey to try to find coordinates for a Teleportation Circle in Skirnabel. They did not have anything for you there, but it was suggested that maybe Artius should get into contact with Matron Seraphina back at Fort Tamal. So, where we begin our story today, our group of Snipe and Hattie and Reyna and Hera, you all are in the Farmer's Plow, the local tavern in Subar. It's the middle of the afternoon. It's a very quiet day. It's sort of like a coffee shop at 3:00 in the afternoon when no one's available to get coffee because everyone's still at work. All the farmers still out in their fields. Everybody's still tending their shops. So it's pretty much just you guys, maybe a couple of stragglers, and Harlan, the bartender. And while you guys are sort of sitting there, Artius will step out from the back room where he steps away to send his sending messages. And he tells you, all right, I have some good news and I have some bad news. The good news is that I made contact with Matron Seraphina. The bad news is that she couldn't send me the sigil sequence over ascending.
Okay.
More good news, though. She pointed out that the Hospice of St. Lospin in Waterdeep would probably have the sigils as well. They're the local Ilmatari temple up in Waterdeep, if you're not familiar. Very nice people. They help out a lot. And Matron even said that she would send a recommendation ahead of us if we went there. But in exchange for the sigil sequence, we are either going to have to convince them that it is a legitimate medical emergency to get to the cloisters of the tier, or we are going to have to do them a favor.
Is dying by the day considered a medical emergency?
Maybe. I think that you'll have to talk with Healer Anders up at St. Lospin's.
I think I could convince them. I think we should be fine if we go there.
Well,
Man, this has been a roller coaster, guys.
So wait. So you make a teleportation circle to go to Waterdeep, and then they give us they either give us the sigils to make another teleportation circle to go to Squanabel, or they have something there that will.
What
Yes.
happens if they don't help? What if we get them and they're like, nope, and we're just in Waterdeep?
well, then
Well, then
I
I
would
die.
suggest finding a better way of convincing them.
Yep.
I wouldn't walk out of St. Lospin's
Okay.
without a key.
No.
Don't actually fight them, Hattie, though. That's going to be a bad look.
I was kidding.
The Ilmatari are very peaceful, and to beat them up in their hospital would be a very bad look.
Ooh, yeah, no, that's like beating
This-
someone up in the library or stealing from a library. Whew.
This is gonna be a moment where we need to use our words instead of our fists.
Well,
This
I
is
look,
have
gonna be-
many words.
I know.
so I can get us up to Waterdeep, no problem. I'm going to have to run back to my house and get some more chalk to draw another teleportation circle, because I only have chalk enough for one. So if you guys go to St. Lospin's while I go to my house. Well, actually,
Can I come to your house?
well, we're gonna probably have to teleport there, unless you guys have a different teleportation circle you guys want to go to. It's the only sigil sequence I know in Waterdeep is my house.
In relation, to the DM, in relation to the Seldarine, where does the other temple lie, basically?
Um,
Maybe.
so you would be familiar enough with the temples of Waterdeep to know that The Temple of the Seldarine is in the Castle Ward. Is basically in the middle of Waterdeep. The other temples are in northern Waterdeep, so there's a lot of temples in the Sea Ward, and then there's some in the North Ward. You think that the Hospice of St. Losman is in the North Ward.
Hey, Ardius, do you know how far away it is from your house?
Well, my house is on the rise of Mount Waterdeep, out looking over the seawall. So
That's pretty.
it is pretty actually. But yeah, it would just be, having to carve down through the Sea Ward and across the North Ward to get to St. Losman's from my house. Not a long walk, but
Because I know a teleportation circle into the Temple of the Seldarine. So I'm trying to find out what's the fastest, but I think it doesn't really matter. We could hop to your house and then try to find the temple, find information, and then hop out again.
yeah, I'm fine with that.
How long will that take overall?
It depends on if we can conjure the second circle immediately or not. You're gonna have to talk with the healers at St. Losman's to know if we can just if we're allowed to just pop in, or if we have to give a heads up to someone if there's an appointment that needs to be made. I don't know how the Cloisters of the Tier does their teleportation circle, but generally there's rules to these things if you're just porting directly into a temple.
Yeah.
Question for the DM.
Yeah.
Would Hattie know of any kind of understandings or agreements or relationships between Candlekeep and any of these places that we're trying to get to?
So that there's a Temple of Ogma in Waterdeep, Font of Knowledge, which is the largest public library in Waterdeep, and also the temple. So there's probably an exchange program between the Font of Knowledge and Candlekeep.
Okay.
Just cleric to cleric,
Cleric to cleric.
Cleric to cleric.
Says the monk.
Yeah. Temple of Ogma.
Okay, well, I mean, it might not be helpful, but I might have connections to the Temple of Ogma that's in Waterdeep.
Okay.
I mean, if you don't have to say anything, it's fine. Don't jump on the idea or anything.
I mean, you guys do whatever it is you need to do. I'm here to provide a circle.
Yeah.
Okay, I might go see some friends then.
No. I understand you want to see friends, but Snipe is dying, and we're
Look, you guys can go do your thing, and I'll meet up with you when you're doing the teleportation thing. You don't like me talking to people anyway, so I wouldn't have to talk to them. I'm out of your way. I can go say hi to my friends, and you can go, talk about Siggles.
Hattie, this is a situation where we need to be fast. We need to get to the temple, get the information, and bamf out. We don't have the time to talk to people.
How long?
This is a matter of a few hours.
When you say
How
a few
Not
hours,
the time
how
to go
many?
talk to friends.
How long will it take you to go and get the information you need? Because literally all it has to be is just to pop in, hi, you're not dead, send a message to a friend, okay, cool, I'm off. It could be a 5-minute stop.
Yeah, and that's why it's worse for you to visit friends. Because if it only takes us 5 minutes.
Well,
Then you're not
geez, okay, I don't technically know anyone at that specific Temple of Ogma, but some of the clerics are friends with those clerics, so I don't.
Then I
see
would
why
rather
can't
have
go
your
to
skills where they're needed.
You
at the
told me I
temple.
couldn't fight them.
No, we can't fight. We can't talk. And you said you have many words, so we could use it.
Yeah, but your reaction to me saying I have many words was kind of please don't.
Hattie.
Exactly. You're telling me to shut up, so why would I go use my words if you don't want me to speak? I am unhelpful in this situation, and you let me know that regularly. I'm gonna go see my friends when we get there.
Okay. Well, then.
Well, if we're gone,
understand this. If this takes any longer than 5 hours, I'm coming back here and I'm going to the tunnels because I'm not wasting any more time than that. I'm sick to fucking near death of this.
And I give you every right, Snipe.
Alrighty. Sure. Right.
Okay, so you guys can break and get your packs and all of your traveling gear together. And then Artis is going to tell you to meet him out at the stables. So whenever you get down to the stables, he's going to be standing there with his horse. And he's kind of like picked he kind of leads you around to like a back wall of the stables, like out of sight of everything else. It's best if we do this where not a lot of people are watching.
Yeah.
And he'll take out a piece of
performance anxiety? No, just please chalk away.
He's just gonna go ahead and chalk out a circle on the side of the wall, and he's going to draw in the sigils around the outside edge. Generally, I find it's easier to do it at 90-degree angles than 180. So just be prepared to follow through on your step whenever you walk through, okay?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he
a quick note, are we going to take our horse as well?
I ate them.
Oh, that's
no, we
right.
have one more
Sebastian.
left. Yeah, we have Sebastian.
Sev. We have Sev. Well, is it safe to bring a horse through a teleportation circle?
I mean, I'm bringing Duke with me. I've done it before. It's okay. They get a little disoriented. I have stables in my house, so we can
in your house.
Well, no, they're attached to my house. Did I not make it clear that I'm in whatever? Look, just you're gonna feel like you're falling, and then just keep on stepping. Okay, that's the key. And he touches the wall, and the whole wall starts like to shimmer and glow, and he just steps through with his horse to the other side.
Yeah, I'm gonna find wherever the fuck I put. I'm gonna go find where Seb is.
6 seconds, right, Jenks?
Yeah.
6 seconds in teleportation circle.
It's around, but it's fine.
Yeah. I just go through
And
it.
step through.
Okay. Whenever you step through,
Atreyu.
I need you guys to each make dexterity acrobatics checks whenever you step through.
Are we going to tumble over?
Damn it.
Oh, that's pretty decent. 13.
19.
24.
19, 13, 24?
Not 20. 21.
Not 20. All right. So the only person who stumbles a little going through is Reyna. Basically, Reyna, it's the sensation of if you're walking down a flight of stairs and you miscount the stairs and you think you're on the last one and you're not. It's like you continue to fall forward and the entire world just sort of does a 90-degree angle turn with you. And as you step through the portal, you just step into a gazebo in a garden. And there's a building in front of you, like the backside of the building, kind of, there's like smoke coming out. It looks like sort of a little kitchen with a thatch roof just sort of sloping down, and Artis is already like heading through the back door.
Okay. Well, that was an experience. First time for everything. Reyna will walk outside, basically. We'll try to see where she is in Waterdeep, and we'll try to find where she needs to go.
Okay. Yeah, around you is this beautiful garden. It almost looks like something like it reminds you of like some of the heartwoods that you've been to in your travels. So there's like these beautiful trees. There's like a vegetable garden up near the building. And there's just like little stone statuette kind of things here and there around. And Artis will lean back out the half door into the kitchen. Don't step on any of the plants. Thistlewit will kill you.
Okay.
Okay.
Just follow the path. Come inside. Come on.
What one does Thistlewit look like?
Thistlewit? He's about 5 inches tall, and he's usually wearing his hazelnut helmet. And he's the sprite that guards the garden. It's complicated to explain. Look, he gets really upset if people are like. He gets upset around people. So just come on inside.
You
I
have
tread lightly. As I get towards the house.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And Hattie just goes inside.
Okay. And inside, you guys are in this kitchen. There's like flower pots and all sorts of things. There's a big old counter. Through one side, you kind of see like there's a coffee shop looking area, and then Ardius walks out into the tavern part, and you guys walk out into the tavern. Welcome to the Tea of Life tea shop and the Wayfarer's Inn. My home.
Thank you.
There's like a broom that's dusting by itself in the background. And there's a hammer that just sets itself down menacingly on the counter. It's all right. They're cool. They're with me, bud. They're fine. Just go on and do whatever it is you're doing.
Cool place.
Thank you. I really enjoy it.
So.
Sorry, to business. I was just making sure that everything is in order here. So if you guys go out the front door and just walk across the courtyard, stables are attached to the end of the building. And then if you just make your way out past the Sandhog and Humboldt to the Fields of Glory, you can just turn to the right and just go right down past the marketplace, just like past the God Catcher, and you can make your way over to St. Lospin's, no problem. I just gotta get everything in order here. I gotta talk to my friend Sildar. He's up at the Griffin Cavalry, probably. He's been watching the place for me. Not information you need to know, just talking out through my to-do list over my head. So to business.
It's all good. We'll meet you back here when we get the glyphs. The things.
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay. And Reyna will start heading out the door and try to kind of locate where she is mentally, like in Waterdeep, and we'll try to find her way to the northward.
Sure. Just roll me like a wisdom survival check.
Before I do that, I go and tie Seb to the stables and then join Reyna.
All right.
17.
Well,
17. Snipe, you see that there are already 2 horses in the stables. One, an old mare that looks a lot like Artis's horse, which is currently plodding its way up through a gate along the side of the building because he didn't take it through the house. And the 17, so whenever you step out, you are looking out over the Sea of Swords right now. So there's like basically a low sea wall, and you kind of like look out toward the ocean. And then down the lane off to your right, you see there's a giant statue, one of the walking statues of Waterdeep. It's like a giant fish person that is kneeling and has like a trident in its hand. You know that this statue is usually called by the people who live in Waterdeep the Sandhog and Humboldt, which is over on the western side of the city. So you know that based on Ardius's directions, you can just go down there. You can go to the Fields of Glory, which are dedicated to the gods of victory, and then you can like make your way across the city to the other side.
Okay. All we need to do is get the cords. Okay.
Never
That's-
been here before. We're not in this area.
holy shit.
Of course, you have a map of Waterdeep.
Of course, I have a map of Waterdeep. I have to check and make sure I'm giving the correct direction.
Hell yeah, that's cool.
Wow.
That was dope.
Yeah.
Well, this.
Yeah,
Okay.
so if you go up to Joltoon Street, you can basically cut straight across to the high road, and from there you can make your way down to St. Lospin's.
By the way, Hattie isn't following them.
Okay. Where is
Hates
Hattie
playing
going?
the party anymore. I'm guessing she doesn't actually know where the Temple of Orgrimmar is.
Probably not.
So she's gonna kind of just as everyone else is left, she's going to turn to Artius and go, I like your place.
Thanks. He's like already like counting stuff behind the bar. Just like, what's
Quick
up?
question.
Yeah.
The Temple of Orgma. Where precisely would I find that?
If you follow the road the other direction from where everyone else is going, yeah, that's right. You said you wanted to go there. You know what? And he grabs some stuff and he's like, I'll walk with you. I'll take you there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to go up to the Griffin. I have to go up to the Griffin Airy anyway. It's on the way, so I'll just send you down the road.
Is that?
So we go up that way.
Can I roll like insight or something? Like, does it feel like he's deceiving me? Because that feels like a kind of a quick turnaround from being.
I mean,
Paddy's just sus. Like, he's been really nice.
He wasn't opposed to you going to the Font of
Yeah.
Knowledge.
No, he wasn't.
Like,
he wasn't.
Frankly, he didn't particularly care what you guys were doing. He just needed to know what the plan was.
Yeah.
So if you want to go to the Font of Knowledge, he's happy to show you the way.
Yeah. Is he being sus though?
I mean, you can roll an insight check if you want.
Oh, I forgot I had. That's a 17.
17. I don't know. I mean, Artius has generally been fairly open with you guys. Like, he hasn't really talked about like what he was doing on the road to Elturel. Like, he hasn't. Unlike you guys, he has not divulged his entire life story. But he seems like He seems like a pretty chill guy. You don't think that he's trying to like be a jerk and be like, I'm going to say that I'm going to take her to the Font of Knowledge and I'm going to send her to the Pits of Doom. Like, he's not doing that to you.
Yeah. No, it was just like a question of ulterior motives, but yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so you guys all head off in your respective directions to go to the various places you're trying to get to. In the meantime, and technically speaking, a day ahead, down in Triel, Seymour and Kaya are currently being served chicken gravy over biscuits in the dining room of the wagon wheel.
Nice.
Hopefully you like them. It is a specialty of my mother's.
It's delicious.
No, yeah, definitely one of the better meals we've had.
Yeah, it was a stew last time. That's the best meal I've had since our little adventure. That stew was very good, to be fair, but this is fantastic. Thank you so much.
We
Yes,
do
thank
try
you.
to pride ourselves on a certain homey quality for the travelers who pass through Triel.
So, this thing you want us to do for you, what is it exactly you'd like us to do? Because our last encounter wasn't the best.
Yes, I gather that. What is the shortest, easiest version of this story? So my relatives, my family, they are known for being particularly well, not to sound bragging, but we know our way around magic. Is perhaps the best way to say it. My father, he was a collector of strange and esoteric, arcanical artifacts, and my mother, she was a blade singer. She was a guard on the road, and they met while they were traveling with each other. It's a very beautiful story, but I suppose beside the point. The long story, short, is that when I started to when they started to teach me magic, I became very interested in the sort of strange arcanical lore that my father was interested in, and I became very interested in a branch of magic known as binding. It is the simplest way to say it, although it does not quite communicate the complexities of it. Binding is calling on spirits from other places and basically speaking with them, working out deals with them, an exchange of information, basically. A few months ago, there were bandits who appeared out of a place known as the Reaching Woods to the east of here. And they began attacking the farms and homesteads around Triel, from here to Skånebell, actually, and out along the Triel Hills. It was an incredibly dangerous problem. But we never thought that they would attack a larger settlement like ours until one day they burned some of our fields in a raid and an attack. I was able to turn them back to the best of my abilities. But it was a hard-fought raid, and I was very tired, and my dear wife, Sybil, she wanted, in her very stupid way, to help me somehow. So she stole some of my books, and she performed a ritual to allow her to defend the people she loved. And now she finds herself in a situation where she has to pay back the thing that gave her the ability to defend people. And the cost is the life of a paladin of Elturel.
Why specifically a paladin of Elturel? It's very specific.
It is a very specific paladin of Elturel, a Sir Marcos. He passed through 10 days ago on his way to deliver a message to Subar. He had been dispatched late, I might add, to deal with the problem of the raiders of the Reaching Woods. And for reasons that were not made clear to me or my wife, the thing that gave her power, it decided that Suri Marcos' life was the life it wanted.
So what do you want us to do about it?
Well, I have been working for several months, practically ever since the ritual was conducted, to find a way to get my wife out of this situation. And I have found that many of the solutions that I have found require a person. It requires either components that I do not have or hands that I do not possess. But if you were willing to help me, perhaps we could work in tandem to do what is necessary to save both the paladin and my wife.
That's all well and good, but your wife is extremely powerful. even with us 3, I don't know what you can do, but if it's just me and Kaya, then... Sorry to say this, Kaya, but I think we'd be outmatched.
Yeah, judging by how our last confrontation with her went, I doubt we'd be much help in that situation.
I promise you, she does not. She may put on a show, but this is not something that she truly wants for herself.
It was a hell of a show.
Well, her binder, her patron, if you will, he is always watching her. If she missteps or falls out of line, then the patron will renege on the deal and take her life in exchange.
Kaya just kind of looks at Seymour, then looks back at her.
She was just staring right at this person, not looking at Kaya.
Surely you know what it's like to make terrible deals for the sake of the people you love.
Unfortunately, yes.
So you said you were good at like binding magic. Does that mean you have the power to hypothetically summon a demon from the abyss?
It is not a magic that I choose to dabble in. I do have books that would allow me to do something like that.
That seems more than a payment for what we're about to do.
It's not an evil demon. Well, maybe it's an evil demon, but it's like
Kaya,
a mildly.
most demons are evil, Kaya, but okay. It's a necessity.
I would not be so quick to summon a second fiend after my wife has already risked her life summoning one. It would not be my first choice, but why would you want something like that?
It's a bit of a long story and a bit of a convoluted one, and we don't really know all of the parts of this story.
Our friend is dying.
Yes, that one.
Okay.
From what we saw, it seemed like they unbinded from a creature.
And they're trying to get binded again.
It's honestly why we're trying to head in different directions and figure stuff out.
It's kind of why we're here.
Yeah.
Binding. Was this demon a patron of your friend?
No, it was our friend, I think.
Part of them. We physically saw something leave our friend's body and was pulled into a portal of sorts. I don't know where it was from.
Oh, and if you have a spell to unbind or to break contracts, could we have that one too? That could be useful for other reasons.
To break a contract.
Yeah, like what we're doing for your wife, right? That's
The delicacy here is non-existent.
Well, I suppose I'm not entirely sure what you mean. When you bind yourself to something, you make a deal with it. Generally, the term contract is something that I would reserve for if you were to interact with a creature from the hells, which I would not do. I have chanced once or twice to speak with a quasit of the abyss. Yes, a very, 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 very simple demon. But I have not and would not summon something from the hells. Their contracts are designed to they are meant to force the person who signs them to suffer.
Right. Okay. So we'll just the first part then, the demon summoning. Is that at all?
I'm interested in that book, if I'm honest. I would love to. Have you got it with you here?
It is currently in the possession of my wife.
Of course.
Okay. All right. So that seems like a deal. We'll help you with your wife, and then you'll help us summon our friend back to the material plane, potentially.
Friend is in
I can-
quotation marks, if I'm honest, but yes.
I can agree to see what I am capable of. Your friend seems to have found themselves in a complicated situation. I have never heard before in my studies of binding magic of a demon bound into a person's being. I would not know how to reverse something like that. Making a deal for power, yes, that I can understand. That is well detailed. But even binding the power of a being to an object, I understand. But binding the power of a demon to a person's body, that I do not know.
Well, maybe we could bind it to an object and then bring that object to Snipe and then find someone else who can... Like, that's something, right? At least that way we know where it is.
It's a stepping stone, at least.
And I mean, they're going to take, 4 more days to get here? At the very least, we can try this, and then when they arrive, we can talk, talk to them then.
Imagine if you found it and it's hey,
Kaya.
we fixed your problem.
Kaya, roll me a persuasion check, and I'll give you advantage because Seymour is also helping you.
Nice. Okay.
Can you just help us get out of contracts from...
Yeah, can you just fix every plot point that Janks has just carefully laid out for us, just like that?
Janks
She's
mentioned
good,
binding.
but she's not that good.
Janks mentioned binding, and me and Naomi jumped on that straight away.
Yep.
That's
so,
fair.
I rolled a 4 and a 19, which makes it a 30.
The fuck?
Barge, yo.
Yep, that's Barge for you.
This is what I can promise you. Take it if you will. When my wife is safe, I can agree that under incredibly safe circumstances, I am willing to summon this whatever that your friend is missing. But
Hey.
I will reserve the right to banish it if I think it is too dangerous. I will not risk my town.
Someone's going to put his hand out to shake.
We can also summon it outside of the town, just in case, like in the middle of like some field.
Regardless,
We'll figure out
I will not have a demon rampaging the countryside.
All right. Deal.
Deal. And she'll shake your hand.
Progression, yo. Let's go.
Now,
We're gonna solve this problem
so
before they
many
ever get get to Scornable.
There are so many things that could
Me
go
and
wrong.
Kai are
I'm
going to save the world,
petrified.
guys.
Yeah.
Me and Kai are saving
But-
everything. You guys go off
Jesus.
finding your maps.
Yeah, but I'm curious, what do we know about the demon? Like, what
Nothing.
information do we have to summon it?
I don't even
Nothing.
think you guys
You've
know
seen
the
it.
real
You're not
name of
there.
it.
You're not there.
No, I know,
No.
but as me, as a player, like not as
Don't
my
worry about
character,
it.
as
It's all
me.
good. We're in. Let's go.
And yeah, I mean, we don't know much about it, but we have seen it, so at least we know what it looks like.
Well, that
true.
We know where it's from. Yeah. You know where it's from. You know what kind of thing it is.
Okay, so let's hop back over to the Waterdeep gang.
WD hype.
So
well,
let's
on the other
start.
side of the world.
Meanwhile, elsewhere.
I also, by the way, got a map. There's an online map version.
Yes. Okay.
Nice.
Perfect. So, let's catch up with the people at the Hospice of St. Lospin, which I believe is Snipe and Reyna and Hailra all opted to go to the hospice. So St. Lospin's, as you approach it, it's one of those buildings. I don't know if you know, if I were to say, like the really old estates that in the 50s it became very impractical to like own an estate with like 20 servants. And so people started like selling off their giant manor houses, and they started getting like divided up into apartments that people could live in. That is that's the vibe whenever you approach St. Lospens. It is this like beautiful manor house on like a particular block of town, but it is definitely worn with time, and it has definitely lost some of its grandeur from whenever like some rich person used to live here. It's got a very simple quality about it now. And when you enter in, you sort of enter into sort of a waiting room. There's a counter with a person sitting behind it, and there are several chairs lined up, and you can see a set of double doors that appear to go further into the facility. Hello, and welcome to St. Lospens. How can we help you today?
Good day. We're here to acquire some information about a teleportation circle to the cloister of Tiers and Scornabel.
Okay. Do you have an appointment? Do you know?
We have not been in contact with anyone in the temple yet. We kind of hoped that we could get the information and get out soon, because it's pretty urgent right now.
An acquaintance sent ahead a message, I believe, Matron Seraphina from Fort Tamal.
Oh, yes, okay. Yeah, I do have a note here. It says that, yes, she did send a message ahead of you to Healer Anders. So let me, and she turns around and there's like a set of bells behind her, each with a little pulley, and there's a little name plaque above each one. And she pulls on a rope to one that says Anders, and it like tinkles, and she's like, okay, Healer Anders should be down in just a moment. He'll be able to take you up to his office and discuss that. Is there anything else we can do for you while you're here? Would you like some water? I could get you, maybe you would like a bagel. They're fresh from the bakery.
No, thank you. This is more than enough. Thank you.
We also have small candies. They're very good. Over there in the corner, we have some like mechanical wonders from the House of God. If you're interested, just sort of sit and. We also have the pamphlets from the Temple of Soon. So if you're interested in like some rejuvenation tips, or maybe you're looking to freshen up your look for the spring, we have some magazines there if you want to take a look at those.
We'll take a seat and we'll look around. Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Could I have a bagel, please?
Yeah, would you like any cream cheese or butter with it?
Yeah, I'll have both, please.
I'll also have a bagel, but I'll have it plain, please.
Okay. An everything bagel or an Asiago or?
Just whatever you've got, really.
Okay, and she'll hand you a chocolate chip bagel. And she'll hand you Hera like an everything bagel with a butter.
Thank you.
I just never want it. Just like take a seat.
Yeah.
And like
I
from
was gonna wrap it up and put it in a bag for Hattie.
Okay.
Free sandwich for Hattie.
Free food.
Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Bagel for Hattie.
Bagel.
I am winning. This is
Well,
all I
Hera
wanted.
would have it, but she'd know Hattie would want something, but Hattie's off doing God knows what.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Very
nice.
nice.
Very nice. Just quietly sipping on some water. Just anxiously tapping her foot and looking around.
Yeah, so you're sipping on water. From somewhere, you can't tell what the source is, but from somewhere there's like a light string quartet music playing. It's just like a little like do 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 do. Yeah, and everything
all waiting
here,
room experiences ever just in one.
yeah, exactly. It smells very like antiseptic in here. Like you can just smell like alcohol and stuff. And then before too long, the doors open and a man comes out. He's dressed very similarly to how Matron Seraphina was dressed. Just very simple robes, kind of cut off at like the 3/4 sleeve. He wears red cord bracers around his arms. And he just has like a monk's cowl and an apron that has like pockets with herbs and stuff in it. You must be the group that Matron Serafina sent me a sending about. Hello, I am Healer Anders. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Rain of Veron.
Reign of their own. Very nice.
Yeah, good to meet you. Shall we discuss what we came for?
Of course. Is this? I assume this whole group is with you.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Just come up straight to my office, and we can discuss the matter at hand. Thank you. Thank you, Agatha, for keeping an eye on them. And he'll shuffle back off, and he'll lead you through the double doors, through several corridors, and you can see a couple rooms stand open. They're just like very typical hospital sort of rooms. Some people are just kind of like laying in the beds. And through some of the windows, you can see that there's like a courtyard out behind the building where there are just like people relaxing, playing chess, like playing games and stuff. And he'll take you into a small but nice little office, a lot of books on a shelf, a little desk, and he'll have chairs set out for you guys, and he'll sit down behind his desk. And what is it that I can do for you? Matron Serafina said that you were looking to get a hold of the sigils for the teleportation circle down to the cloisters of the tier.
Yeah, my companion Snipe doesn't seem ill, but it's ill and is dying by the day. So we, with great haste, we're trying to get to Scornabel.
Well, if it's an issue, if it's a medical emergency, we can always take a look at you here.
Well, Matron Serafina already took a look at Snipe, and they didn't find anything, but we know something is going on, and through my faith, I found a place in Scornabel where we need to go swiftly.
Okay. I don't mean to seem gruff with you, but generally the teleportation circles that are between the temples, we use those for extreme medical emergencies, like things that can only be treated at the cloister. We use them for basically very important and necessary procedure. Not that this doesn't sound incredibly important, but to be frank with you, we are not a travel service. And I appreciate that you need to go where you need to go. And we are happy to provide medical services to your friend and check them out. But if it is not something that can be solved at the cloisters of the tier, I hate to say this, but we're going to need a service to the Church of Ilmater if you want to use our circle.
What does some kind of service, what does it mean? I'm happy to do anything.
Well, without knowing what sort of a situation you had gotten yourselves into, Serafina wasn't particularly forthcoming. I went ahead and spoke with the Master Healer at the cloisters of the tier to see if there was anything that they needed done. Frankly, Serafina made it clear that you were all good people in good standing. And I was somewhat concerned that this might be the situation whenever you came in here. So, as it seems, the Master Healer, Pelea, might have some work for you. There has been a situation in Skirnabel. I'm not at liberty to give you too much information, but if you want to use our teleportation circle, The guardian on the other side will take you to the master healer, and he will be able to explain what exactly it is we need from you, and consider it just an exchange of services.
Sounds fair. I'll look at Snipe and Hora, and kind of with an expecting eye to see what they have to say about it.
Snipe's just kind of slightly aloof, mainly because walking through the hospital, they've seen a bit of imagery that kind of given them a bit of bad deja vu, so they're just kind of mulling over it and staying quiet in case they do something bad.
Well,
you said Matron Serafina told you that we were nice people, well, good people.
Well, she said that you were a paladin, and that she trusted
Yes.
you, and that you would keep good company.
Yeah, I'm captain at the fort that Matron Serafina is at.
Thank you for your service.
So whatever you need, Fort Tamal and I would be happy to help. But this is you wouldn't call it a medical emergency, but it's an emergency where if we're delayed any longer, our friend will die.
Yeah. And I completely understand there's a service in trade for using the teleportation circle, so I will happily fulfill the service to complete the deal. But there is some urgency behind it.
Without,
Of course.
if I may ask, you're not allowed to give us too much information, but are you at least allowed to tell us what the trouble in Scornabell actually is? Like, is it a person that's causing trouble? Is it an event that's happened that's caused trouble?
What I know is that there has been issue recently with bodies washing up on the shore of the River Kyanthar with their hands bound with red cord. And the merchant lords and the Lord Governor from Elturel have already been made aware of the situation. The cloisters have already denied any connection to it. They have already denounced whoever is doing it. It's not an issue of the church saving face. It's an issue of if people don't think that they can trust the Ilmatari to be able to come to us whenever they're sick or in need, then people are going to get hurt and die, and it will be completely preventable. But it's just because they won't be able to trust us. It's an image thing.
That sounds reasonable. Could Reina maybe make some sort of a, I don't know, religion history check about anything, bodies being tied up with red cord, or?
Okay, so you can make me a religion check.
Does she knows anything?
Can Hera make an insight check?
For what?
To see if there's something else, something else that they're not telling us. So obviously he said it was for an image thing. But Hera, at the moment, she's thinking that they might be hiding something else. So it's not just about image.
Yeah, you can make an insight check on him.
Is it a religion or a history? Did you say?
A religion for this.
A religion. Okay, that's 14.
14. Okay. Yeah, so you're not familiar with the inner workings of the Church of Ilmater, not being a cleric of Ilmater. But you do know that Ilmater's symbol is hands bound at the wrist with red cord. Like, that is the symbol of Ilmater. In fact, Healer Anders is wearing an amulet around his neck that is made of red cord, and it has hands at the bottom, like made out of silver.
Yeah. So it is.
Big oof.
Yeah. So it's basically someone threatening the image of the church.
basically it's someone trying to look like they are Ilmatari. Yeah.
Okay.
What'd you roll, Hera?
I got an 18 on insight.
18. It seems to you that if Healer Anders is holding back something, it's because he is a member of St. Losman's. He is not from the Cloister of the Tear. He is concerned with the affairs of the Church of Ilmater and Waterdeep, and this is something happening in Skirnabel, which is miles away from him, and in Elturgard. So he is basically just operating off of what information the master healer of the Cloisters of the Tear was willing to tell him. And that's what he knows, and that's all he can, that's literally all he can share, because that's what he knows about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Cloister of the Tear is sus.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. If we can help clear the image of a place that helps people, I will gladly help you guys in exchange for getting there.
Okay. In that case, and he takes out basically like a prescription pad, and he scribbles out a series of symbols on it, and he just tears off the page, and he hands it over to you. And he says, the cloister will be expecting you tomorrow.
Okay.
Do you need a place to stay here in the city for the night? We do also have rooms in case you need a place to stay.
No, we're fine. We got a friend we travel with. There are 2 more people joining us, but
okay,
we got a place. So thank you very much. We will, of course, help the people over there and hope to clear the name, because that sounds awful.
Thank you. We appreciate the help. And I do honestly hope that you can help your friend.
Yeah. And I will stick out my hand and shake the hand if he also reaches out and say,
yeah, sure.
Good day to you. And start walking out.
May the crying Lord ease your suffering. Now let's bounce over to Hattie. So
Yes.
Hattie, you took off from the Wayfarer's Inn, and you and Ardius turned to the right when everyone else went left. So you have been walking up along the Rise, which is a road that goes up across the ridges of Mount Waterdeep. And about halfway down the road, Ardius is going to direct you down the side of the mountain. There's sort of a hairpin turn road that goes past this massive black stone tower that just has like a sort of power and austerity radiating off of it. And he says, yes, if you go just past the Black Staff Tower there, you can kind of see the top of the glass domes. That is the Font of Knowledge down over there.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'll see you back at the Wayfarer's Inn. You can find your way back, right?
Yes.
Okay. And he just keeps on trucking up the Rise over toward the Griffin's Eyrie. So, Hattie, you head down to the Font of Knowledge.
Yeah.
It's this beautiful big thing. It's a lot like I'm trying to think of what the name of the massive train station is in London.
Oh,
London St. Pancras?
Yes. Is it King's Crossing? Is King's Crossing a train station?
King's Cross Station.
King's Cross, yes. It's
we
like this.
should have all known that.
Should've-
as British
shame.
people.
I was relying on you
embarrassing.
guys to come up with the name.
I barely know the names of the roads around the corner. Like,
Yeah, I don't. I'm the same. I'm. All
Well,
goes into
it's-
my head.
The
With Harry
Font of
Potter, we
Knowledge.
should have known.
Well, the Font of Knowledge is this big building. It's a lot of like beautiful sort of gilded Gothic architecture, big glass domes that provide skylights going down inside. And of course, just like rows and rows and shelves of books of all kinds. And inside there's one of those big oak circle desks. And there's a person sitting behind it. Hello and welcome to the Font of Knowledge. How can we help you?
Oh,
A particular book that you're after?
Hi, I'm from Candlekeep.
Welcome to the Font of Knowledge. What brings you up this way? Are you looking to loan out a book? Is there a book that you guys need down south?
That's a long story. Just to confirm, I am wearing my formal gi. I'm not going in with buttons. I never change from. There was no changing process. It was just still in the formal stuff.
So you're wearing the gi with slightly fewer buttons on it, yeah?
Yeah. There isn't someone I can talk to. Perchance? That was the correct use of the word perchance, right?
Who are you?
What?
Who are you looking to talk to? Says the clerk behind the counter, who seems a little hurt that apparently you don't want to talk to them.
I'm not really sure. Someone, I'm looking for like knowledge, but like I have many questions. Are you the person I talked to about that?
Yes. Well, I man the kiosk, so yeah, I can answer a lot of questions for you. What have you got?
Okay, so Ogma is like the closest god that like I have personally in relation to you, like me. Is there any chance of like pissing him off? Like if I've done something, could he like, put tons of stuff in my way to make life really hard and complicated and really difficult and kind of just make you want to curl up in a ball in a corner and cry? Out of curiosity, just wondering if it's a possibility.
What, have you burned any libraries lately?
Not that I can remember.
Have you like purposefully destroyed some piece of knowledge that's lost forever?
I might have done that. I'm not sure. It sounds like something I would do.
Really? From Candlekeep, you would do that?
I'm from a new division?
Ah, okay. Yes. Yeah, word came to us. You must be part of the acquisitionists.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay. Wow, I didn't realize that acquisitionists were allowed to play it that fast and loose with the... Well, okay. Well, if you have questions about Ogma, I can direct you to the religion section.
Okay,
let me get out my cards. And she starts rifling through like a Rolodex of cards.
Also, while you're doing that, another question. Do you have the sigils for a place kind of Scornabell way? That is how you pronounce it. It's just every time I've said that word, everyone's kind of looked at me odd, and I'm not entirely sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but no one's corrected me, so...
Let's see. Well, as far as pronunciation goes, I've heard both sigil and sigil, so I think both of them are correct. As far as teleportation circle goes, let me take a look at transportation.
What about the first?
I know that... Oh, right. Sorry. Let me get back to the religion search. All right. Let's see. Let's see. The god of knowledge in you?
Yes, me.
Okay.
Specifically me? Does it say Hattie? Don't worry about it. It's just...
Well, it doesn't say Hattie. It's a little bit of a starter book.
Can we have something a little bit advanced as well?
Okay. Let me see.
Is this the equivalent of everybody's poops kind of thing?
Yeah, this is like the basics and the basic tenets of Ogmism.
Ogma for dummies in the big yellow manual.
No idea what this interaction is. Someone.
I will just say right now, Hattie's a mood.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you interact with people? Help me.
Also, this question, but wait, weren't you going to be focusing on that as well? But also.
We also have a copy of the fonts of knowledge. So that's like, of course, we are the font of knowledge, but also there's the book.
Bit showy.
It's kind of like, basically, if you were to take the 7 scrolls and sort of condense them into like the basic teachings, the fonts of knowledge is kind of that. So if you don't have the time to study the 7 scrolls of Ogma, you can kind of like read through the fonts of knowledge.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna know the scrolls of knowledge, but I don't, so that might be important. Yeah.
Okay, well, we also carry copies of the 7 scrolls if you would prefer to like deep dive into the text.
No.
The fonts of knowledge can be a little it's a little bit of apocrypha. I have no idea what that actual word is as the DM, but it's like the equivalent of the Dead Sea Scroll. Look, I
don't know what the majority
I'm deep diving down my own hole here.
Coming out of your mouth mean. So if we could really keep it simple, I'd appreciate that.
You know what? Let me get you a copy of the Fonts of Knowledge and Ogma and You. So those will be over here. You can find Ogma and You in our children's library section, and then you can find the Fonts of Knowledge if you go down that way to the religion section. You just have to go down to O, and you can find the Fonts of Knowledge under Ogma.
Brilliant.
And any of the other librarians can assist you.
Okay, I will need that. And the sigil.
Right. Okay. So I don't know if we have one for Skirnabel specifically. We do have a listing of all of the public teleportation circles. So anyone who has made their teleportation circles public for public use, we have those. I don't know if there are any in Skirnabel, but I can direct you to where you can find them. Right here. If you go back to transportation, it's just past the map collection. We have a clerk who specifically deals with keeping track of all of that stuff.
Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, also quick question. Would you say this is like a more formal version than, and she just kind of puts the 2 bits of paper down on the table and gets out like the buttoned version? Like is this more formal? Don't worry, it's not important. She puts it back away and takes the paper and leaves.
Okay.
She goes to the Ogma and me in the children's section.
Fantastic.
Okay.
I have to say, as someone who's worked in a bookshop, that is highly relatable. Just like, people asking you 1,000 questions at once, just like, okay, question 1, here's the answer. Question 2.
It's fine, it's the job. So you head off to the children's section to find Ogma and Me, the beginner's guide to the worship of Ogma.
I just pick it up and leave quickly. I'm not looking to spend a long time in the children's section. I'm short anyway. I don't want any misunderstandings. We're in and out here.
It's very well illustrated. There's a lot of like illuminated illustrations.
Wonderful.
Yeah, there's just like a friendly old guy on the cover with like a long gray beard, and he just has a scroll in his hand, and he has like the eye of Ogma hanging around his neck. He's just like, Ogma and Me. Yeah.
I need to get one of those necklaces. Anyway.
And then you can.
That's just like on my way out. Can I just stop them? Is that all right?
Yeah. Well, who
I can just
are
hear
you
the
going back
heavy
to the
sigh.
clerk at the front?
Sure, yeah. Let's keep the same NPCs. Let's keep it simple for you here.
All right.
Quick question. What's the process of like, do I buy the books? Am I borrowing them? Do I have to read them here? Can I leave with them?
Are you going to be staying within the bounds of Waterdeep?
Yes.
Okay, then it's absolutely no problem. It's just a 2-week return policy. The book will let you know if it gets overdue.
The book will let me know.
Yes, all of the books will let you know whenever they get overdue. And
how, might I ask? How?
Well, let's. All right. Basically, it's like a charm that we put on all the books. I wouldn't. let's just put it this way. Don't store it in like a really nice piece of cloth.
They explode.
There's a lot of
the
ink.
cloth?
It's very hard to get out. Trust me, I've tried.
I'm
It
a
is
slow reader.
okay. Well, you can come in after 2 weeks and recheck. You can re-up it.
Oh, okay.
You just come up to the counter. We'll stamp it out.
Okay, and does that start the minute I leave?
Yeah, just go ahead and if you want to give me the book, I can put the stamp in.
I'm gonna go get the other books first.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be right back.
Okay.
She's gonna go get the 4 scrolls, the 7 scrolls. Sorry.
She recommended the Fonts of Knowledge, which is like the condensed works of the 7 scrolls.
Yeah. So she'll pick that up, and while she's in the area, if anything else looks like Ogma related.
Is there anything Ogma related in the Temple of Ogma? Well, there are a few things.
You never know. It's worth asking.
Some custom posters that you can buy on the way.
Sign.
Yeah, there's some posters you can buy on the way out. Of course, they're always accepting donations to help increase that. So basically, the same way that Candlekeep requires you to have a book to get in, all the temples of Ogma have like a voluntary donation inside the entrance. So it's like none of the like outside of Candlekeep, it's never a requirement to have a book to get into a library. But they have like a donation center inside. So it's like, and usually instead of like monetary donations, they're more than happy to accept book donations.
Okay. But yeah, I'm just looking like around. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the teleportation section.
Okay. There is a clerk there who appears to be just chilling, just like leafing through a book. It appears that no one hardly ever visits this section of the library. So they're just sort of chilling out.
Hi.
Hello.
Are you awake?
Yes.
Okay, you just looked. Anyway, I'm looking for
Just my natural state of being. I don't know.
some sigils. Which one is the correct way of pronouncing it? Because people have been
God.
giving me weird looks.
I can't be getting into this debate again. You know, sigils is
Again?
fine. I'm not opposed to sigils as a term. I don't like language evolves because people like say things over
But it's
time
wrong.
and like
It's
new
what you're
things
saying.
catch
It's
on and then like
traditionally you're meant to say sigils.
what I'm saying is you do you. How can I help you?
Yes, I need some sigils.
Okay.
For the kind of Subel kind of Elturel. No, not the. Some people are shaking their head. What's the location?
It's
Someone help me.
Cornwall.
Cornwall, thank you. Cornwall.
Subar and Cornwall mixed
We're
together.
not there. If you don't know, you
Really
don't know, dude.
Gotta really
Can
mess
you
things up,
tell that I can
please?
read my own handwriting? Yeah, Scornabel, kind of maybe Elturel kind of location.
Okay. He'll get out like a giant book. It's just like a rack of encyclopedias underneath the counter, and he just pulls out one. And he's like, "That's an Eltergard, right?"
Yes.
Okay. Let's see.
Also, maybe Baldur's Gate. And I know there's one near Candlekeep. Wait, is there one near Candlekeep?
Let's just
indoor?
break the game, guys. Let's get every single teleportation circle for every location. Let's do it.
So let's see. In Eltergard, it looks
'em all,
like
Hattie.
the only.
Get them all.
It looks like there's only one. Oh no, sorry, there are 2. So it looks like there are 2 public teleportation circles. One of them is along the Grand Walk in Elturel, and the other appears to be in the Temple of Lathander in Burdusk.
Lathander.
Yeah.
Can I
Mr.
grab-
Sunshine.
both of those. I like that nickname. Can I borrow both of those?
Yeah, you can have them. Generally we do 50 gold a sigil.
It's pretty fair to be fair. That's pretty good payment. Praise the
How many
sun.
sigils?
Of course it all goes back into like
Per sigil.
Yeah, no, I got that. It's just I'm here on Candlekeep business. And the expenses don't cover anything over 20 gold.
If you're here on Candlekeep business, why didn't you get these before you left Candlekeep?
There was a change of situation. I only got informed of some additional information when I got here. I was too late.
Well, as Candlekeep would inform you, donations are important to keep these libraries running, and there's nothing more important to Agma than literacy.
That is true. Yep. She says.
Roll me a persuasion check, Hattie.
Are we being deceptive, Mr. Jenks?
They're trying to persuade this this person to lessen the amount.
I love Becca's face when you mentioned 50 gold. It was great.
Yeah, persuasion is good because I have advantage on it, but my charisma is +0, so advantage is better with it +0 or not.
Where's your advantage come from?
Good question. I don't know.
Halfling?
Being a halfling or something?
Is that a trait?
I have no idea.
I don't know about.
Maybe
Oh, it's brawling in taverns.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
no, wait, that's only in
No, that's-
taverns. Oh,
Yeah.
I had hope. There was a small amount of hope.
Yep,
Just
this
find
is
a
not
bottle
a
of
tavern.
alcohol and make it. Just quick. real
Natural
quick.
advantage is awesome.
Natural 1.
Let's go.
3.
Let's see, 3.
Did you read that pirate book real quick?
Yeah,
Because
fifty-
it might be
Let me get
broken
kicked out.
again.
Yeah, I think that Candlekeep would appreciate
Yeah.
it.
I
if
was
you
just,
spread the
I
word around.
was just going speed. I was just hoping for a quick increase in speed. I will be right back with that money.
Okay, do you still want me to look up if there's any in Baldur's Gate or around Candlekeep?
Sure, while we're at it, let's knowing they exist is fun.
Sure. Let's see. Baldur's Gate. That is Lord's Alliance. That's this one. All right, Lord's Alliance. Let's see. Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate.
I hate how prepared you are for this, Jenks. It's so impressive, y'all. It's so
It is,
impressive.
it's so cool.
Every time.
Baldur's Gate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like there's one up in the what is that? The Petrar's Hall? Yeah.
The where? Whose hall?
The Patriarchs. I think that's what they call them. It's like the wealthy people down in Baldur's Gate.
Patriarchs. I'm just saying that in an English accent, so I'm writing it down properly.
Yeah, Patriarch, them. Yeah, it looks like they have one in their hall. Oh, but it does look like you need to present your pass whenever you get in.
Okay, I can work with that. Thank you so much for all of your hard work. I can tell you wake up and you come in here bright-eyed and bushy-tailed every day. I couldn't even keep a straight face. You're the best. Okay, bye. Just gonna turn around and leave.
Cool.
I love Hattie.
All right. And that, with Hattie trotting off out of the Font of Knowledge, is where we'll take our mid-game break for today.
Oh, no, wait. Oh,
You did book out the books.
no, there's just
Just
two,
like
2 things before can we just, they're quick. Firstly, just the books. Can I actually check them out and not just run off with them?
Yes, they
Okay.
will be actually checked out.
Yeah. And secondly, is there a gift shop?
Oh my god, now there is. Yeah, what do you want from the gift shop? So on the way out, right, there's a little area that you didn't notice whenever you first came in, sort of off to the side. It's like a little shop front, but you can enter it from either outside the building or inside the building. And basically, there's just like there's some candle holders with the Eye of Ogma, like put into them. There's like obviously a lot of candles. There are magic reading lights. So basically, the equivalent of like a drift globe that you can use to read at night. There's several inks and pens. There are books that you can buy and journals that you can buy. And of course, there are some like cloth bookmarks that you can buy that have like the tenets of Ogma written on them.
Okay. Can I pick up a notebook? And is there like any jewelry with like the Eye of Ogma on?
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it, I guess the eye is actually denier. So like they're like but you can.
What is it? It's not like a scroll or something?
A blank scroll.
Yeah, a blank scroll.
Yeah, Ogma is a blank scroll. So there would be blank. There would be jewelry, right? There would be jewelry with like symbols. It probably wouldn't be like the kind that the clerics wear, but it would be like charms that you could hang around your house. So key like, yeah, like essentially the equivalent of like a fantasy key ring.
Do we have those? Do we have those pens where like there's a picture of Ogma, and when you tilt it, like Ogma goes a bit naked? I mean, you tilt it back, it's close.
No, that is
They
definitely.
would dare sell that in a library. How dare you?
Hattie's just gonna pick up one of the like, just something that she can at least like turn into, like a necklace or a piece of like jewelry or something.
Sure. They have your choice. So there's the blank scrolls for Ogma. There's the Eyes of Denier, who's the god of writing, and then they also have little music notes for Malil, who is the god of story and song.
Okay, I think Hattie would go for the scrolls.
Okay.
Or the ones that depicting a scroll.
Yeah.
Gonna go to the checkout. Wow. And just put them on the desk. Your checkout isn't really designed for halflings.
That is a good point. And they'll kick the desk behind them, and whenever they kick the desk, a set of stairs just launch out of the front of the checkout.
Oh,
like, better?
You could have warned me. Trot up the steps.
Right, let's see. So you have a charm of Ogma. Is this all for you today?
And the notebook. The notebook.
Oh, and the notebook. Yes, of course. So I think that total that will be a gold and a silver.
Please say you have that, Hattie.
Hattie gets out the 14 silver pieces that she has.
Yeah, this is fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, one silver short, but that's okay.
Fantasy gift
Okay.
shop where all
Quickly
your
grabs
dreams
the stuff
come
before they can
true.
change their mind and like runs off.
Wait, isn't
I'll
the
be
gold
with
and
you.
silver 11 silver pieces? So if you have 14...
Yeah. One
Oh,
gold,
yeah,
10
so-
silver.
So I'll just put 11 silver on them.
There you go.
Yeah, 11
Yeah, you're
silver.
fine.
Almost got scammed out of 3 silver.
That's why we said it was fine. That's why we said it was fine.
Not
yeah.
those 3
Whoops,
silver.
fine.
Because the DM can't math, the Cleric of Ogma almost scammed you out of money. No, yeah, 11 silver and you have 3 left. So, yep.
Oof,
You
I'm
get those?
rich. This is why I was asking you on the Discord, like, how does Hattie get paid?
That's a great question that I will answer during our break.
Nice segue. 10 minutes. Bye.
Yes.
Bye. Hey there.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back into the road to Elturel. our Saturday campaign here on Carpe Diem. When last we left our intrepid heroes, they were shopping in a gift shop at their local library. So Seymour and Kaya are down in Triel. They made a deal with City Harpel to help her out with her problem. And in exchange, she's going to help them with their friend's problem. And up in Waterdeep, Hattie just left the Font of Knowledge, which is the local temple of Ogma and a wonderful public library. And the rest of the group is headed back from St. Lawspin's to the Wayfarer's Inn, which is the tavern owned by Ardius Meggs. So, as you guys are headed back the way you came across the Market Square, yes, Raina.
As we're walking, Raina will kind of take out her notebook and scribble down the runes in her notebook that she got from the from what was his name again? Anders? I believe it's Anders.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anders.
And she will also, because she hadn't done that before, will note down the one she knows in Waterdeep and the one she knows in Baldur's Gate.
Okay. So you jot down the coordinates for the Temple of the Seldarine, and also the Patriarch's Gate,
yeah,
which is the one you would know in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you guys make your way back toward the Wayfarer's Inn on the west side of the city, you are making your way past the market when someone calls out. Raina? Raina!
Hi?
Whenever you turn around, Raina, your father, Sylphir Veron, is making his way out of Castle Street from the Temple of the Seldarine toward the Market Square.
Father!
Raina! And he comes up. He's still in like his gold armor, of course, with the crest of the crescent moon on it. It's not the heavy plate mail of Hailraz, but it's sort of like light mail. And he pulls you into a hug. Raina, what on earth are you doing back in the city? Is your mother with you?
No. Long story. Here with some friends. I'm along the way, trying to get to Scornabel. And we needed to pass through Waterdeep to get there.
Scornabel by way of Waterdeep?
Yeah, teleportation magic. I was still new to it.
All right. I guess that makes sense after all. Is this a skill that you've picked up in your travels?
No, I wish. No, this is a friend I met. Has the skills to do this, apparently. So, something new to try out.
Excellent. I always encourage you to try something new. I've actually just returned from campaign myself. We were out in the high forest. There was some issues around the Star Mounts with some hill giants. Yes, it was incredibly troubling, but we received help from this mysterious. I don't know how to describe them right now. A nature guardian of some sort. They appeared out of the trees and they helped us, and then they ran off again before we could tell them anything, or before we could get any information.
That's curious.
It is. It's absolutely fascinating. I was wondering because I know that in your travels, as you like to do, you've been up that way. Have you ever seen anything like that while you were up in the high forest?
Would she?
I'll tell you what. Roll me a d20. On a 10 or less, you don't, and on an 11 or more, you would have seen something.
15.
15. When you were in the high forest, you heard stories. So you actually went to Grandfather Tree, which is like a elven holy site in the high forest. And you heard tell while you were there of a being that the elves and centaurs who live there consider to be some sort of like guardian figure. They appeared in the forest one day, and they've kind of been hanging around, and they always sort of turn up when the forest is in trouble. But they don't really know anything about them. It's almost like a Bigfoot sighting to them. Like, this person exists, but we don't really know anything about them. It's a big, wide, magical world. But, you know, as long as they're being helpful, live and let live.
Yeah.
So, you've come back to Waterdeep. I don't suppose you've been back to Baldur's Gate yet, have you?
No, not yet. I've been on the road for like a month now, so not really been around civilization.
Well, the only reason that I ask for, would you like to go get a drink?
I look at Snipe and Hora. This is Snipe, by the way, and Hora.
Excellent to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hora, is it?
Yeah.
That is some incredible Elturel plate that you have on, Hora.
Oh, thank you.
I've ridden with the Paladins of Elturel before. It's a well-earned right to wear that sort of armor. I trust that you wear it well.
Yeah.
Would you guys like to join for a drink?
How long exactly?
Well, we can only use the teleportation circle until morning. Well, not until morning, when it's morning. So.
I mean, yeah, if you waste an hour, yeah, maybe fine. It's your decision.
Yeah, I guess I'll have maybe one drink. I was planning to also go to the Halls of Justice later on.
Well, it's up to you.
Yeah.
I'll pay for drinks for whoever wants to come.
You guys are free to join. I can also go on my own. So see you guys later. It's whatever you guys want. It won't be anything long or massive.
Catch-up session between a father and daughter and her friends.
I'll come along with you. I mean, I'll be quiet. I'll let you guys have your moment, obviously, but yeah, I'm not really used to Waterdeep, so I don't want to get lost.
What sort of experience are you all looking for? I know an out-of-the-way place. There's, of course, the Elfstone, which is a very nice little tavern. A lot of it's a little higher, you know. It's a little more faluting, I suppose. Maybe not the common man's tavern. And of course, if you're looking for an interesting time where we can find a quiet noise over the tavern brawls, we can always go down to the dock ward, go to the Yawning Portal.
The last option sounds good.
Excellent. The Yawning Portal it is. And you guys
there's a lot to tell you.
I am excited to hear. I'm excited to hear everything that you have to tell, and I may have some things to tell you as well while we're there. Now let's trip back down to Triel. So, you all have finished your late lunch, of course, and have been invited by City back over to her shop where she keeps all of her books and things. So, essentially, I will try to explain as best I can the plan that I have in mind. Feel free to ask any questions that you have, or perhaps if you have any better ideas. I am always open to ideas that are better than this terrible but best plan that I could come up with. So, essentially, I have been in communication with the celestial spirits that I consort with, and I have managed to determine that the spirit that Sybil has binded, it is It is what is called a vestige. It is imagine if a divine being were able to be splintered into parts like a puzzle. A vestige is have you ever put together a puzzle and you complete the entire thing, but there is one piece missing and it does not form the full picture any longer?
I have actually, yes.
A vestige is the missing piece. It is a piece that is left over whenever a powerful being recollects themselves. It contains a piece of them, and it can exist on its own. What my wife did, she went to the fields of the dead, and she exhumed some bones, and she seems to have called on the vestige of some sort of god of undeath. From what the spirits say, I believe that what she called on was a vestige of Orcus. He is a lord of undeath. And he granted her power through a skull, which she uses to focus the energy that she was gifted with. Now, ideally, I would be able to create a charm that could protect her, that I could gift her. But unfortunately, in all of my books, the only thing that I could make this charm out of effectively is a relic or an item that is linked to Orcus. And unfortunately, those are incredibly difficult to come by. The only one that I know of that I could use is the skull that my wife uses. You see the problem. If I were to try to hallow the skull before the time was right, this vestige of Orcus would understand what we were doing and he would lay his curse out on my wife, which is not what I want. However, I suspect, I think, I hope and I pray that there will be a moment during the ritual where I can hallow the skull without Orcus bringing his power to bear against my wife. The moments after she sacrifices Marcos, I will be able to hallow the skull and protect her.
So how do we... So is the plan to just let him die then?
I can also revive Marcos. It is within the powers granted to me by my celestial friend. The issue is I cannot hallow the skull and revive him at the same time. So, what I need from you is to protect his body against anything that may come for it when it is sacrificed. If you can defend him from the other cultists who will be there, for there will be other cultists who will be at the ceremony. If you can defend the body from them, once the hallowing is complete, I will be able to revive Marcos.
Is there like a 100% accuracy rate with these revivals that you're talking about, or is it like are you 100% certain that if you have the body, you would be able to bring him back?
No.
We've also got to protect you while you're trying to revive him, yes?
Yes, and if it is not too much to ask, I must also ask for your protection while hallowing the skull. If I am interrupted, I will not be able to complete the ritual, and then we will lose both.
So to protect you and the body at the same time.
As I say, it is not a great plan, but unfortunately, without components or without any other fresh new ideas, it is the best I was able to come up with.
Can I roll an insight check? I want to know, does she care if the paladin dies? Or is she, like, perfectly willing to let him die if it comes to it?
Yeah, roll an insight check.
DM, is it confirmed that we had a short rest? Since my childish crybaby moment.
You have not officially had a short rest.
Oh,
No.
okay.
You have had lunch.
It wasn't childish, it was character development.
I know.
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, you had a short rest.
Thank you.
It was lunch.
I
Lunch was
14.
really
rest.
focused on that lunch though.
14. Kaya, you think, based on how City is talking, that she is going to prioritize her wife over the paladin. So, like, if it's a
How
choice
dare they.
between the two, she's going to save her wife first, and then she'll worry about the paladin afterward.
Who would do that? Oh.
What we do for those we love, am I right?
There you are. Oh my god, he said it.
He said the name of the thing in the thing.
Oh my god. Huh.
All right.
Is there a way that
Ideas?
we can
Fresh? Huh?
take the skull ourselves and get out of there? So in the moment we grab the skull and get out of it?
That could work.
I do have the power to... I can do a couple of things, and depending on the powers they've been granted, I could cover that area in darkness, teleport there, grab the skull, teleport back.
Would we need to take the body with us then too? Because if we just leave him there...
I can't do that. I'm just thinking about the
Yeah.
skull.
Well, I must be near Sybil when I hallow the skull.
Oh.
The point of hallowing the skull is to protect her.
I see.
So if we can take Sybil in the skull, that is a potential option. Although it is not my first wish that the paladin dies. It will never be my wish to see a paladin of Elturel dead. But as a plan B, if everything is going to shit and we can grab Sybil and the skull and get out, frankly, I am willing. I'm willing to do that if that is what is required.
If I'm honest, me and Kaya are more of the ad-lib type of people. You know, we don't really forward plan. We just sort of react to whatever's going on. So it might be a case of we see what happens when we get there.
Well, perhaps you have never dealt with a binded spirit before.
No.
But generally, it is good to plan ahead before you make any drastic moves. Frankly, these sorts of beings that are able to grant powers like this are incredibly dangerous. And
How close do we need to get for you to hallow the skull?
Let me check.
Could you, Kai, you thinking of getting the freeze, like how you've done with, you know, suggesting stuff to Hattie to do to make them quiet? Are you suggesting to do that?
It's a possibility, but probably not a likely one if we're dealing with someone as powerful as her.
I know.
I think what I'm more hoping for is the element of surprise, the ability to sneak in as quickly as possible and start the hallowing ritual process before they know what's going on. Buy us a little bit of time.
I must be able to touch the skull in order to hallow it. I must put it in a container of hallowed hallowed materials.
So is there a way, I suppose if she's in the middle of a ritual, there isn't really a way for us to distract her, stop her looking at the skull for long enough for you to grab it?
I can run in and grab it sooner, but if we do it before the ritual is complete, there is a danger there that the patron that is asking the ritual of her will take it out on her.
It's not fulfilling the contract, I understand. Or agreement.
Again, it is an issue of if I had a second object that I could hallow before, then I could slip the hallowed object around her neck, and that would protect her, and we could forgo the ritual entirely. We would not have to see the ritual to completion. But I cannot do that without a object connected with Orcus, which I do not have.
I don't have
Sorry. I can create a replica of the skull. I can create an image that looks and feels exactly like the skull does. As a possibility, I mean, I understand that it won't last long. They'll figure it out, but if we could just buy just a couple of seconds of distraction.
Does it actually need to be connected to Orcus? It just has to look like something else connected to Orcus?
No, it has to probably actually be connected.
That's what
but
I'm
I'm
thinking.
speaking of because there's no way we're going to find something of Orcus. I don't think that's an option. But if we get there, if we're able to sneak in, I can disguise myself as one of the cultists. We know what they look like. If we can sneak in, wait until the ritual starts, and then use that opportunity for me to basically create an identical image of the skull so that you can grab the real one and distract them just long enough for you to get a bit of a head start before we have to fight them, that might be beneficial to us.
The issue is not distracting Sybil or the cultists. The issue is tricking the vestige. I am not certain if an image would be able to trick the vestige. The vestige knows what it is imbued with power.
That's very true. And we're kind of underestimating Orcus here.
There is a chance. And she'll go over to her wall of scrolls. Ooh, okay. She riffles through a bunch of like books and scrolls on her bookshelf, and she pulls one out and she sort of opens it, and she says, "Perhaps the plan may work if we use this." And she holds out a spell scroll of Nistel's magic aura, which can create a false aura of magic around an object.
Yeah, so then we take an object that's roughly the size of the skull, right? I use major image on it to make it look like the skull, and we cast that spell on the object, then it'll feel, look, and exude the same aura as the real thing. How long do you think that would last as a distraction before people catch on?
I think that the cultists could be fooled. It is not an issue of fooling Sybil. Whatever impression she may have given you on the road, I am sure that she truly does not wish to kill Sir Marcos, if it may be avoided. It could buy us just long enough with the vestige. The vestige is not on the material plane. There is a disconnect from where it is and where we are. If we could fool it for long enough, if we could fool it for even 6 seconds with this trick, I could begin the process that would save my wife.
I'll be there just in case then. I'll make sure I'm the shield for all of you.
No, Seymour, you have to shield the body.
Yes, that's what I mean.
I'm concentrating on the major image.
Absolutely.
And if I look like a cultist as well, you will have to be the one who makes sure that the body stays. If darkness, whatever it takes, the moment that fighting erupts, you have to make sure that body doesn't get touched.
Absolutely. That's totally fine with me.
Ah, yes, that reminds me. Whenever the vestige told Sybil that Sir Marcos was the target, it manifested a dagger that must be used to kill him. If it is on Sybil, then we will be okay. If one of the other cultists grabs it, you must ensure that the cultist does not stab Sir Marcos with it.
What does it look like?
It is sort of a curved blade with abyssal sigils written on the side.
I don't speak abyssal, but that's okay.
Well, you have seen this dagger before.
Okay.
This was the dagger that the other cultist leader, quote unquote, used to create
Try to grab.
The thing we almost had, yeah.
Yes.
If we had only ran instead of cascaded.
Okay, cool. That's fine with me. Yeah. So we know what it looks like. That's good. That's good to know. Well, I like this plan. Let's go.
Do you? I mean, we could even potentially make things easier. Do you have a skull lying around that you use for your magic that's roughly the same size that I could then cast Major Image on?
I am not a necromancer. I do not just keep skulls around to cast magic. But yes, I do have a skull. And
I was waiting for that.
And she'll go into her medical room, and she'll go to there's a skeleton hanging on a rack, and she'll just pluck off the head of the skeleton, and she'll say, "Just don't ask where I got it."
What kind of skeleton does it look like? Is it human?
I mean, it's a skeleton.
Is it a human skeleton?
I mean, once all the flesh is gone, it's kind of hard to tell what kind of a thing it used to be.
I rolled a 6. I don't know anything.
You have no idea.
One more question. If I'm going to be at the front line, is there anything that can help me? Because I can fight, but if I get hit and they gang up, I might be in a bit of a shit state. And if we're trying to make sure that one person isn't dying, I've got to make sure that I'm not dying either. Is there anything you can provide me? It's fine if not, obviously. It's just hedging our bets, making sure that we had the best opportunity, because we don't know how many cultists are going to be. If shit goes down, I don't want to go down with it.
Can I provide you with anything?
I'll also be close by. I can heal you if things really go badly, and you can teleport, right? If things go really badly, just abandon everything and leave.
Nods.
So, City will do one more check over her scrolls to see if she has anything that could work. Roll me an Arcana check, Seymour.
Oh, yeah, sure. Arcana? I don't think I've ever rolled an Arcana check. Yes, I have.
It's really good. I love a good Arcana check.
19.
19. She kind of pulls out some spells. She reaches deep back to the back of the bookshelf, and she pulls out a really scrunched up, sort of creased out piece of paper. She says, I've never actually had to use this. I have one in my spell book. But take this. This could be useful to you. And she hands you a shield spell.
Oh, hang on a second. I took that out of my inventory, I believe. Hey, nice, cool. All right. Yeah.
So it's only one use, but you can use it once.
So Nistel's magic aura that lasts about 24 hours. So we cast it on the skull before we go in, and then we do the switch afterwards. And I could do the switch. I can disguise myself. That doesn't take concentration, and I can cast Major Image when we're there, which lasts an hour, I think.
My understanding
10 minutes.
that the ritual is to take place at a former shrine of the Triad, a day's ride north of town, just up past the crossroads. So if we can get there in a day's ride, we can potentially get all of these done before the ritual.
Doesn't it have to happen during the ritual?
I don't think so.
Okay.
The greatest danger will be one of the other cultists trying to take extreme action. The only reason that Sybil has been waiting the 3 days is because that is the amount of time that she was given. If She has been waiting to do the ritual until the last day, but if we do not need to do that, we can do it earlier.
All right, it's a plan.
It's definitely a plan.
And break.
Sick.
Look at you guys making plans.
Meanwhile,
You're
back.
doing so much better than us.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm like, what if we kill Snipe?
Meanwhile, back in Waterdeep, 3 of you are in the Yawning Portal with Sulfur Veron. The Yawning Portal, of course, is a loud, ruckusy tavern. It's a very interesting place because there's a giant well in the middle of it. And there's a bucket strung from the ceiling that goes down into the well. And there's a sign on the side of the well that says 1 gold piece to be lowered down, 1 gold piece to be brought up, payment up front. See Durnan for details. There are 3 levels to the tavern. So there are basically the ground floor and 3 balconies, all full of tables. You can see hallways that lead off to various rooms. Tons of people just coming in and out. It is definitely a happening spot around Waterdeep, and you see the eponymous Durnan the barkeep behind the bar. He's just kind of like shining glasses and like stroking his beard and like looking around for troublemakers, and occasionally getting tossed a gold coin and lowering someone in a bucket down into this yawning pit in the middle of the room. And then occasionally screams echo up from the pit.
The good old times.
The good old times. It's very loud, so there's a lot of like, ambient noise and stuff. Go on, Rita.
Fun story. I once was with a friend and they got into a fight and they got basically pushed into the pit. They weren't that happy. They got out of life, but that was a fun time.
It's in the pit.
In the pit? That is the passage to a place called the Undermountain. It's an old Waterdeep legend. It's a massive dungeon complex that they say is still ruled over by the mad wizard Hallister Blackcloak. People go down there looking for glory and adventure. Not many of them come back up out of the well. Although Durnan managed to go down and survive, along with a friend of his. I don't suppose you know of Mert the Moneylender.
No, I don't personally.
Well, he's an old hat around town. But Durnan used his riches to build this bar. It's been a staple of Waterdeep for centuries.
And a place of memories for me.
So, Reyna, how to bring this up? What I wanted to bring up with you. Well, your mother worries.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that you and your sister are independent young elves who wish to go out and seek your fortunes in the world. I have no room to talk. I'm out on campaigns. Wherever the Bright Order sends me is where I go. And I've managed to see a lot of this world and a lot of wonderful things. I've met a lot of wonderful people, but your mother, well, she spends a lot of time here in Waterdeep at the temple, and whenever she doesn't hear from any of us in a long time, you know how she gets antsy. And I received a note whenever I got back to the temple saying that she had actually left. She had received a note from you saying that you were changing your plans. I'm given to understand from what she wrote in the note that you had some intentions of coming up to see her here in Waterdeep. And then she received a note that you were changing plans and heading back south. And she has decided to take it upon herself to see you in Baldur's Gate. which is why I asked if you were returning from there. It seemed like she was expecting you to be there, but it seems that you've taken a different path, and I was just wondering if you've been in contact with her at all, or...
No, I haven't spoken to her in no. I've only sent a letter, and I haven't heard from her ever since. Got nothing back. No contact.
Okay.
Well, my change of plans was because I met these lot. I met Snipe, and Hilra I only met recently.
Yes. Tell me about your friends, or perhaps your friends would like to tell me about them themselves. How is it that you met my daughter? And is she as much of a handful now as she was as a child?
I seem to have taken the place as someone who's a bit of a handful currently.
That's all right. You keep her on her toes.
Mm-hmm.
She helped a great deal. We had an issue up in Elturel, and she helped.
Yeah, we basically
Stopped a fucking army. You stopped a whole army with just a word, apparently.
Well, that's
that so?
That's no. That's
the family blessings. The family blessings manifest with you.
We went to Borska Bridge because we were on our way to Elturel, and when we were there on the bridge, they got attacked, and we had to fight, and we won.
Of course you did. I would expect nothing less from my daughter. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that there's been trouble down in Elturel. Is there anything that perhaps the Bright Order could assist with? We, of course, always follow the orders of the church, but we always make ourselves available to our sister organizations.
It's good for the moment. I just have some business in Elturel itself. But making the stop in Scornabel first.
Of course.
Yeah, I think at the moment it's fine. We are on our way to Elturel to do some business there. We're still not sure what's going on in Elturel, but we were meant to be there in 3 months. So
interesting. What drew you to Elturel in 3 months?
We heard a story about something that will happen in 3 months in Elturel, and if we couldn't fight it ourselves, we would like to warn everyone in Elturel, because we don't know if it's true, but I would rather warn people about something that might not come true than keep my mouth shut about it.
That is a noble pursuit, Reyna. Well, of course, if you ever need help, I will always send help to you, should you need it. And of course, your mother will try to make herself available as much as she is able to. I'm afraid that your sister will probably not be available. She's currently studying up in Silvering Moon, of all places. She's decided that is the new passion. She's very interested in the teachings of Rilliphane, and they have one of the greatest temples there, so she's made her way up there.
One of many passions she has. I hope she can keep this one going.
I can only hope. I trust that she will eventually find her way and find what her place will be within the temple, should she choose to pursue it, as we all have. If nothing else, I think that Silvering Moon is a great place for her to be. There are so many people for her to meet up there. There are dwarves and elves and gnomes, and there's so many interesting folk that travel through Silvering Moon that I think that it's a good place for her to be. I think that sometimes at the Temple of the Seldarine, we can be a little cloistered in our own ways of thinking. So it's good to be out among people.
Yeah, we'll teach her some things about the
We can
world.
only hope. We can only hope.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah, we're kind of hoping to get to Scornabel to help Snipe and to get some things done. We found some information in, what was it again? This is me remembering. I wrote it down. The hospice.
Yeah.
The hospice of, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Lospen. The hospice
good
of St. Lospen.
Yes, they are incredibly good folk over there, willing to take in anyone.
Yeah, so we hope to make our way to Scornabel tomorrow to see if we can get some help for Snipe.
Excellent. Do you have all of the funds that you need? Can we provide you with any more before you head back out?
I just kind of glance at Raina, just like, do you need more?
Yes.
I'm just
Sense a disturbance that Hattie may need some money.
Yeah.
The 50 gold first.
Yeah, somehow we hear Hattie like, give me gold.
I have 3 silver to my name.
Actually, about this time, let's say that Artius and Hattie will walk in together to the Yawning Portal.
Okay. Raina will kind of put her hand on her little coin purse. It's not little, but it's a coin purse, and she'll. Well,
Hey, you guys will not believe this, okay? So
Oh no.
even though, hi guys, by the way.
Do you have any lids to put over the well? You might want to cover it up, because I think there might be somebody who'll take a leaping jump into it at any given moment.
Generally, I don't think that Dornan covers the well.
Not the
Keep
point.
your eye on her.
No, it's 50 gold to get sigils.
yeah.
Seagulls.
The seagulls. Sigils.
I'm sorry, I don't think we've been properly introduced.
No. Hattie.
Sophia Veron.
Hattie of the Candlekeep.
Candlekeep,
Hi.
a distinguished scholar. Very nice to meet you.
Yes.
That's one way to say it.
Yeah.
The
Can I
well-
get a drink? It's 50 gold to get sigils for the teleportation circles. I don't have 50 gold. I'm like, here's a horse, and like, have some stale bread. On with your travels.
She's been complaining
Does
about
Candlekeep
this
give you?
since we left the Griffinary.
50 gold. I don't
Okay.
have 50 gold. I have 3 silver.
Well, like you said, maybe not for me, but for the group funds, maybe.
Of course. We would. I can absolutely. Wherever you're staying while you're in the city. Are you staying the night?
The Wayfarer's Inn, I believe. Is it called?
Yes, thank you. You remember the name of my inn. Yes, I would be happy to have you. Oh, Artius Manx. Sylpha Veron. Nice to meet you. Wait, did you say Artius Manx? Yes. I served at the Battle of the Well of Dragons. You did excellent work there. I was in the Waterdeep divisions. Well, thank you for your service. Thank you for yours. You were spectacular. Well, if I could only provide support for your excellent work in the trenches. I'm going to go get drinks, and Artius goes over to the bar to get drinks for everybody. Yes, well, if you're staying at the Wayfarer's Inn, I can send some gold up that way.
That would be great, thank you. Well, this is Hattie, like you said. I'm
a
Hattie,
scholar.
pleasure. I would expect nothing less from the distinguished order of Candlekeep. I can see that you're part of the order. I've only had the pleasure of visiting the library once, but it was a spectacular sight.
Yes, it's wonderful, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Lovely view of the sea.
Yes. The tower exaltation gleams in the morning light. It is quite beautiful to behold.
I can get that. No, not relevant.
Oh, Hattie, I have something for you. And then Helva gives her the bagel.
She then spends the next 5 minutes in silence, just consuming this bagel.
Hattie does that. I just say, so where did you run off to, Hattie? Did you stay with Arceus?
More? No.
You just kind of don't talk with your mouth full. It's just where did you go? Or wait until you give me an answer.
Okay, so I went off to the temple of where the hell did I go? Oh my god. I forgot
He says that in character.
Yeah. I don't know where I was.
Library font of knowledge.
The
Ironic.
fountain okay, don't come at me like this. Do not come at me. The fountain of knowledge. Because I'm a scholar.
Addie is gonna be so happy about being called a scholar.
Did the scholar get anything scholarly at this fountain of knowledge?
Did you find anything interesting over there?
Yes, I did. And Harry's gonna get the chariots back out. And the scrolly book thing out.
So yeah, some very professional looking illustrations here as I look up at the Olgrimer and Me child's book.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, yeah, Snipe, you have seen this book before. In the form of Goodnight Moon, Everybody Poops. This is literally that style of book, and that is never been more apparent to you.
Is there a connect the dots in the colouring section as well?
Already been done by
There's
another
not.
child.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Hattie
flick
was
through it
actually
and see
doing
that
that.
it's just extreme large print font inside it. Just it's very, very professional.
All done by hand, of course. Very nice calligraphy, but it's definitely that zone of book, yes.
And also I got this one.
Yeah,
Okay.
Snipe, this is she puts Journey to the West on the table. It's what? How are these two the same thing?
There's no middle ground between this at all. Just a casual read. You seem to have gotten just an entire print of what we would call a Bible and a kid's book. What were you trying to look for?
I don't. Knowledge, generally.
While this exchange is going on, Silfer will also go up to get some more drinks for the table or help Ardius carry some back. And when he gets up and goes off, Reyna, you hear a voice in your head that says, I see. So, you have decided that you would like 2 fathers. You take this one and search for another. At some point, Reyna, you will have to choose. You will either be of Silver or of Banrang. Which will it be? And what are you willing to give up to make that choice?
Not the money, please. Anything but the money. Hattie really needs it.
Reyna will smack the table and say, no.
Reyna, you okay?
And she'll kind of look around, breathe heavily, stand up, walk out of the tavern.
Was it something I said? Was I eating this bagel really messily?
Reyna, whenever you walk outside, the cool air hits your face, and it has a calming effect. There's the smell of the harbor, the sea breeze, also the general stench of the dock ward, but you can kind of tune that out. No. You say no to me. I think you forget who grants you your power. Do you not remember that you made your choice already at the crossroads? Go on. Call on Corellian for help. See if he'll answer you.
This is not about faith. This is about family.
It used to be about family for me as well, Reyna. And then my family betrayed me. I was cast into the abyss.
Can't I love both? Can't I talk to one? Talk to the one that raised me?
You may do as you please, Reyna. However, know that I only grant power to clerics who show loyalty. Consider this the next time you find yourself in need of power.
I will be loyal, but that should not depend on who I'm talking to.
You will change your mind with time. Until we speak again, Reyna.
She just kind of stands there, staring at the sea and not saying anything.
Back inside the Yawning Portal Tavern, Ardius and Silver return with drinks for the table. Where has my daughter gone?
She just needs to get some air. Actually, I'll go check on her. I get up and I leave to see where Reyna's gone, but if I do see Reyna, I don't approach yet until...
Okay.
I don't know.
You can open the door and you see Reyna. She's not like standing in the doorway, presumably, but she is standing out in the sort of stone square in front of the Yawning Portal Tavern.
Okay. I just kind of gradually approach her until I'm standing by her side and see if she notices me at all, or just...
She will reach out a hand and kind of touch your hand and just say, why do I have to choose?
Between what?
Between anything.
I mean, it's better than being given no choice at all. What's going on, Reyna? You didn't really look very... I don't know. You didn't look very happy when your father kind of like talked about how you had a family blessing.
You know that spider pendant?
The one that bit me? Yeah.
Right now I'm kind of caught between two gods.
Okay.
And she will pull back her sleeve and slowly start unwrapping her arm. I'm The family blessing is something I was born with, and there's something else I'm looking for. But the blessing doesn't feel right. This marks the other half of me. The one I am. I also am. I am this, but I'm also something else.
It's like something genetic passed down through family.
Yeah. And that father that you see there is a father of mine.
Not your birth father.
Yeah.
Also, it didn't really look like you.
He raised me, but he's not.
Do you know your birth father? Like, have you met him in person?
No. And why I'm with you guys is basically because I'm trying to find my birth father.
Oh. Is that why you disappear from the group when we stop for the night?
Yeah. I'm trying to look for a way to find him.
No matter what?
No matter what.
Who are you getting the most help from?
Someone who I'm told to despise. Someone who I'm told to avoid. But I'm openly walking into a trap.
What's their name?
Lilith.
Is that to do with the spider pendant you have?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
not really...
just...
I'll let you go.
The one I'm born with, Corellian, is not the one I chose for. But I'm not sure if I am making the right decision right now.
What, choosing something different than what you were born with?
Yeah.
Why did you choose Loth?
Because she's the one who can lead me to where I need to go.
To find your other family, your father.
Yeah.
Your birth.
And also, I didn't really choose her. She kind of found me.
Sounds like you're not actually being given any choice.
No.
About this time, the door of the Yawning Portal will open again. And Sylphir Veron, the sun elf decked in his golden armor, will walk out into the twilight air. And he will sling an arm around Reyna and pull her in for a hug. And he'll say, "Hey there, kid."
Hey. And she'll kind of lean in against him. arms around his waist and just kind of stand there.
You know, being part of the Bright Order of the Crescent Moon took me away from Waterdeep a lot. So I know that I wasn't maybe always right there whenever you and your sister needed me. But whatever it is that you're struggling with right now, and you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but I just want you to know that I trust that you are smart and intelligent and kind, and that you will make whatever choice it is that you need to. And that you'll be okay, kid. All right?
Yeah.
And call your mother. She worries. And that is where we will end our session.
Wonderful. Good job.
We spoke. We
was
finally
great.
fucking spoke.
Yay!
We finally did it.
Gotta
So-
go for a tick sheet.
Yeah, I have a tick
Dusty
sheet
sheet
behind the... Little do you know, in my binder, I'm like, they finally did the thing. They finally did the thing.
Wonderful
We
RP.
said the thing. They did
That
the
was fantastic.
Really good RP, you two. Wonderful.
Thank you all for joining us for the road to Elturel. Tune in tomorrow for the Crimson Petal.
Yeah.
Tune in on Wednesdays for the excellent podcast. I think therefore.
Excellent.
I rolled it right. I almost just did the
much.
quote.
Relative.
They all have wonderful names now that are all like on the precipice of something, which always makes me laugh. Every time I tune in. And then you can come back next Saturday to see what becomes of the group in Scornabel, and also if the plan against the cultists goes off without a hitch.
You know it won't,
So-
but it's all good. It's more
Well,
fun.
you know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I love
But
it how
until
we're all
next
meant to be meeting. Sorry,
Eating.
we're all meant to be eating up. Yeah, meeting up.
Eating up.
Yeah.
Meeting up a meeting.
We've just like all
Fine.
done these side quests. I can't.
I'm all for
You guys will come back
Oh.
around
The
eventually.
side
I have
quests-
faith in you.
Side quests make games fun.
That's
Ah.
true.
You know what? This
Put them
next
to
side
+2
quest
speed
might
so we can just quickly get through them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it might put an end to Snipe's problem. I
That's the
mean,
thing,
this
this
is
is-
not really a side quest at that
It's a
point.
very clever
Who
idea
knows?
of you guys.
It is.
To be honest.
Watch
Also,
us
it's
solve
hella
your problem
smart.
before you ever get to school.
That would be the best. It's like,
But we'll
oh,
still
hey
leave Kaya
guys.
to Scornabel is
Yeah.
the thing.
And you guys are also
we're
still-
in Scornabel now.
Yeah, you guys are also still a day ahead of us.
Yeah, and if you have to go somewhere which is a day ride, you're technically going to be 2 days ahead of us.
Yeah.
You're already there.
Yeah.
Fine. It's all good.
We'll arrive as they disappear. We're like, oh,
Damn it.
Snipe just dies into this. We got your shot. Oh no. Oh no.
Snipe, you just
Oh,
look on the
well.
ground and there's my corpse. It's like, ah.
Whoops. Just put the solution on your body and just walk away. Well,
just
But
like
we'll see how it
pacing
all
out.
turns out next
Rest it
time
on
on
my
the road
head.
to Elturel.
Yeah.
And until next time, have a good night, everybody, and adventure on.
peace.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.